just gonna forget that? How we just gonna forget that?
I have one little, two little, three little, keep killing them, telling me my I have one little, two little, three little,
What's up,
Your
beloveds?
grandma
What's up,
killed you.
Ghost? Trauma Hawk, peace and
You
love.
got Indians in your family.
Alito Polly
house
Crush.
again, the build, figure, bake, figure, build, wiggin'. My skin ain't black, what the deal? Second loop,
Hey,
hey, aborigines.
Spirit Goddess, Halito, Origin One, Liz Robinson, hey beautiful sister. I don't buy bull. What's up? Everything's healthy. Aboriginal Rocky. How y'all beautiful ones doing? What's up, Star Stripe? Mother Running Red Wolf. Copper Colored Dragons. What's up, you beautiful ones? In Jones, hey beloved.
Your civil rights acts, all you can eat, big out. It's not home, city. Phoenix Moon got the antidote, get that haze out. Meanwhile, rapping about my birthright, a freestyle. Each man.
Dino No Time, Halito baby. Chad Murdoch. Murtag 19, what's up, beautiful one? Libra Sun, hey, beautiful. Stephen Red Clay. Delisha Hollingsworth. Killer, white supremacy, what up, baby? Julian Benton. How you beautiful ones doing? What's up, Stripe? Eastern Band.
On my chapter box.
Qatar White Baby Wolf Clan.
On my Cherokee.
Aboriginal Leo.
On my Cloud Monkeys.
Elaine
On my
Doria.
Washingtons.
What's up, you beautiful ones? So, I want to play y'all this tape, this recording of these racist ass, not even racist, because I don't really got a problem with racism. It's these prejudiced motherfuckers. These nurses, once last year, when my son got arrested, see, I don't care what they saying that the charges are. The first thing that Phoenix want to know is, did they violate his rights? That's the first thing that I needed to know. And before I jumped on the plane, I know I've been arrested before. I ain't got no felonies and shit. But I have been arrested. I have been to the county jail before in my lifetime. And I know that they send you to the nurse's office. So that was the first place that I decided to call. Hi, Samuel Carter, Halito, Luna Lupe. So I want y'all to hear some of the shit that y'all got to deal with when they arrest your loved ones. Now, first of all, I know for sure that my son let these people know that he was an American Indian. Well, let me tell y'all how serious these nurses took this. Shanked they fucking boots. Just listen to this call. It's not long. All right. Of course, I edited the name of the county because this is ongoing litigation. But I want y'all to hear this call.
Sheriff's Office, Bailey.
Hi, good afternoon, Officer Bailey. Can I please have office?
All right, let me forward you.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all can hear that. Now listen to these bitches try to clown Phoenix.
Hi, good afternoon, Kim. How are you today? I'm doing well, thank you. Well, I've certainly been better. My son I've just been informed that my son has been in a county jail. On the mobile app that I viewed his status, I see that it has his race listed incorrectly.
His what? I'm sorry?
His race is listed incorrectly.
This is the medical department. Anything that's put on your mobile app, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ma'am,
yeah.
Kim, what I'm saying, Kim, is it has his race listed as African American. My son is not African American, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm confused. What is it or where?
Look at what these bitches did.
Well, you can look, yeah, you can go right online and look up their charges. He's listed as African American, and he's not African American. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, what the fuck? Do you give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Nope.
Ha. Did y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all heard that. I'll play it again. How the bitches tried to clown me, right? These are the nurses at the county jail. So, bottom line, you always see a nurse. Brandon Rogers, Halito. Okay, I'll check my email, beloved. Let me play this shit for y'all again. I don't think y'all got it. You see how these bitches tried to clown me. They thought that they transferred the call to booking, but they never transferred the call. And I sat there and I listened to them for 15 minutes, talking shit about inmates, breaking all sorts of HIPAA laws. I heard them talk. One of them called, said that she lost her appetite because a darkie touched her arm. Okay, I had to look up the word darkie. That wasn't something that, you know, that they said in the South. That was primarily a northern racial epithet, calling people darkies. That was more the Dutch and the Germans and stuff like that in the northeastern region. But they was clowning me. So I didn't worry about them saying he was driving without a license. I'm worried about what the hell do y'all have my son listed as? Because I know when you spoke to him and you asked him if they asked him, and a lot of times they don't. He told them that he was American Indian, and you know what they put down? They put down black African American, right? So, okay, some of y'all say it's buffering, so I'm gonna play this shit again, just so y'all can hear these ratchet ass nurses and how they give it up.
Sheriff's office. The sheriff's office. You are being transferred to the
I'm gonna play it
operator.
again.
Sheriff's Office, Bailey.
Hi, good afternoon, Officer Bailey. Can I please have medical records or the nurse's office?
All right, let me forward you.
Thank you.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry, y'all. Play it. Start it over.
The sheriff's office. The sheriff's office. You are being transferred to the operator.
Sheriff's Office, Bailey.
Hi, good afternoon, Officer Bailey. Can I please have medical records for the nurse's office?
All right, let me forward you.
Thank you.
Can y'all hear it?
Hi, good afternoon, Kim. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Well, I've certainly been better. My son is, and I've just been informed that my son has been around in jail. On the mobile app that I viewed his status, I see that it has his race listed incorrectly.
His what, I'm sorry?
His race is listed incorrectly.
This is the medical department. Anything that's put on your mobile app, I don't even know what you're
No,
talking about.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Kim, what I'm saying, Kim, is it has his race listed as African American. My son is not African American, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm confused. What is it listed on or where? What are you talking about?
There's the inmates. It doesn't list their charges, but it says where they're in custody. It has their name, of course, their age, and the contact facility.
And you do know you call the medical department, right? And we don't have anything to do with any sort of custodial information.
Okay, can you transfer me to perhaps booking?
Yes, I sure can. Hold on.
Thank you, Kim.
Listen to them try to clown me.
No, I guess this is fucking cool. Well, you can listen, yeah, you can go right online and look up their charges. He listed as African American, and he's not African American. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, what the fuck? Do you give a fuck? No, you're a fuck.
You hear them? So, bottom line is, I asked them to transfer me to booking. And she thought she transferred the call. And like I said, I just edited it so I can play it for y'all. And when she transferred the call, she's asking the other nurses, she makes a statement and says, oh, this bitch is worried about if her son's listed as African American or not. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. She asked the other nurses, do they give a fuck? And those two hussies was like, no, we don't give a fuck. So anyway, 15 minutes go by and I have them recorded breaking all sorts of fucking HIPAA laws and all types of crazy shit, right? So I'm going to also play the tape when I got to New York and I finally contacted the jail and I was getting a hold of the sheriff's department. A lot of the calls that I made, I contacted human rights in that area. I contacted the sheriff's department, and the amount of time that I spent on the phone, every time I went down to the county, they were passing the buck. Well, you need to speak to this one, and you need to speak to that one, and you need to speak to this one, and this one isn't here. And I was talking to the undersheriff and all these other people, but the sheriff himself would not come and speak with me. So again, I only edited the name of the county because this shit is beef, and we not done yet. We're not done yet. Even though they dropped the charges and the case is over, I still have a problem because they discriminated against my son, right? Doesn't stop. There's no time frame on it. There's no statute of limitations on it. So I say this to say, if these motherfucking bitches is going back 30 years, 40 years to when they say Bill Cosby slipped them a Mickey and stole their cookies from them, I'm telling you, American Indians, please don't think that there's a time frame for your rights. Okay, so if you have been discriminated against, if they have done some injustices to you, don't give up. Don't keep letting these motherfuckers slide. You gotta spank their boots. You gotta spank their boots. And I'm telling you, if you drag one, the rest of them, you might even have to drag two of them. But once you do, that opens up the floodgates for tons of respect. That should be a natural thing that they want to, make sure that is available to you. They got you. That's your basic human right. So sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So you got to start pressing a lot of people in a specific way in order to get the fucking results you want. But I'm telling you, once you spank their boots, let me tell you something. These oppressors, they don't care what you do to them. The only way to get at them is to take their money. They don't care what you call them. Oh, you're racist. Oh, you're prejudiced. You just don't like people, blah, blah, blah. You could talk all that shit till you blue in the face until the cows come home. The only thing the motherfuckers respect is when you tap their pockets. Gotta tap their pockets. But, it's hard for a lot of people to really sit down and start dissecting some of these problems one by one. I guess it's a matter of what results do you expect. If you are expecting to have maximum results, then a lot of this shit is going to make sense to you. And these are going to be some of the things that you apply, right? It don't matter what they saying that you were charged with. It doesn't matter what the fuck they talking about. Race is not on your driver's license that you may have or may not have. Race is not listed anywhere except in their mind, right? Until you make the correction. They're not supposed to tow your car. They're not supposed to arrest your body unless you give them permission to do so. If you give them permission to do so, then you know what to expect. There's still certainly going to be some ways that you can fight it. But why go through all the hassle? Rebut their presumption of who the hell they think you are, and whatever they do after that is going to be on them. Ultimately, they are going to have to pay that lump. So these are some of the little subtle ways that you got to learn how to bust these people upside their head. And I'm telling you now, if you call these facilities and you hear all calls are recorded for quality assurance purposes, that's not for your assurance. It's for theirs. So my suggestion is when you contact them, you download the app. You also want to know where you are with it. In California, you have to notify people of you recording. So if you're recording somebody, one of these agencies, and you're in California, you have to make sure that they are aware of it. New York is a little different. In New York, you only have to be a part of the conversation. Okay? So when I made the call to the nurses, I was limited in scope specifically because the first person that answered the phone, I let them know. Whether or not they transferred that call to someone else, when they transfer them, they let them know is a whole nother thing. But like I said, I have to inform them of anything. And a lot of times you're going to catch them slipping. A lot of times because they deal with policy and procedure and not law. So when you come at them with, this is how you maximize the results. Halito Lorenzo, this is how you maximize the results. Please make sure Not Nima, you see that? You see that? See, and you know, there's a lot of disrespect that you have to deal with. And you got to make sure you got thick skin in order to do that. You got to make sure you have thick skin. If this is you know, if your stomach is weak, then this ain't gonna be the fight for you. But you got to support the motherfuckers that's willing to fight for you, right? You got to support them. You can't just get that shit for free. If that's the case, if you are not going to do your due diligence, right, to fully protect yourself and fully protect your loved ones, then you may have to turn that over to somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to make sure that somebody else is fully vetted, right? Fully got a full understanding of the consequences, and it's still going to require you to do some work. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm gonna come back with that. I'm waiting for them to send me this other uh, beautiful sample that they have when I got the sheriff. Now I have one of the sergeants at the jail telling me that that violation has been corrected. And he never really corrected the violation. He just switched my son's shit from black African American to Native American. I wasn't satisfied with that anyway because we specifically told him that my son was an American Indian. I told him, and so did my son, as he was being booked and processed into the jail. So for all of them to still go through that and still record him, what did they do? They violated his civil rights. They violated his civil rights. So now this is also going to name who? The state trooper that stopped him in the first place and made the initial arrest. This is going to include anybody that took their fingerprints down at the jail. This is going to include any of these paperwork, the documents that had to be submitted as they booked him into this facility. All of those people are now liable. They are all now liable, and this is what? That's a Title 18 RICO. Conspiracy against whites. So, this is some of the shit you got to deal with. And a lot of these people, they are just so corrupt that when they, you know, they'll never see the tomahawk coming. They'll never see the tomahawk coming. So I just want to tell y'all to stay encouraged. Make sure that y'all on top of these things, these little things. I don't care if they arresting you for taking a pee out in public or for throwing trash, littering, driving without a license. Whatever it is that they arrest you for, you better make sure that they know who the hell you are. Because once they assume that you are somebody, there's going to be a whole bunch of other problems that come with that. It's going to be a whole bunch of other problems that come with that. So I ain't going to hold y'all too long. I just wanted to share that with you. I got some more for y'all a little later. Love, peace, and hair grease and all that good shit. Chapisa La Chique.